Because almost
you're saying that's wrong.
Okay, let's talk about the OSP.
You're inability to have time
so the conversation about the OSP has taken a twist and turn. First of all, I want you all to reiterate your position about the office of the Special Prosecutor and then the Special Prosecutor himself. I think I recall Hamza, but just reiterate, and of course maybe somebody new is watching today. Solomon, in just brief seconds, because then it will inform my question. Okay, in brief seconds.
So my position is the position of the United Party. We said it in our GTP, that we believe that we have a lot of institutions that create the impression that they are fighting corruption. And so we want to consolidate all these institutions into one and then have a single legislation that will deal with, corruption, and appoint one anti-corruption czar who will be backed by the Constitution, who will not be deriving its authority from the Attorney General. As it is now, if you were to read the OSP's at 959, you read the initial, but it's an agency. You understand? That takes its authority, prosecutorial authority, from the Attorney General. So what it means is that from where we sit, it is still operating under the purview of the Attorney General. So it does not have that independence that we are talking about. Okay. Here is the case that the reason for bringing the OSP's office was to create that independence, allow him to go after corrupt officials, because we believe that the Attorney General is appointed by the president, and so he will have his biases towards the ruling administration. But the same agency is operating under the Attorney General. So how do you then tell me that he's not neutral? Okay. So for us to have a truly independent OSP, we must work on the Constitution. As it is too fragile. It doesn't situate well within our Constitution. And create that independent body using constitutional or amending the Constitution to have that creature. So that anti-corruption czar or the OSP or whatever name you call it will have that true independent mandate. That is the position of the United
Consolidated States. Independence of the Attorney General. I'm going to skip Sween and come to you. What's the position?
Well, you see, for me,
this is not a detail.
Yes, on the matter of Special Prosecutor, I personally think that, yes, there's some conflicting of stance in terms of the provisions of Article 88 and the office. Ab initio, I had a problem with it, basically, because I thought that we have all the fine laws in this country. Today, the Financial Intelligence Center is there. IOCO is there. The Prosecution Department of the Police, CID, is there. Okay? The Attorney General himself is there. A plethora of institutions that we already, Shraj is also there, that we have as a country, which is supposed, or which are clothed with the powers to fight corruption, as it were. But in addition, we have added the OSP with good intention. The good intention was that, look, we thought that when Attorney General is actually appointed, is appointed by the government of the day, the likelihood of he tilting towards the appointor, okay, was the reason why I believe the implementers of the OSP of office thought that, look, it was worth it. So let's bring in somebody who we all deem independent, okay, to fight corruption, which is a canker to us. The good intention was there. But like Solo said, if there's some conflicting stance with our Constitution, it is only proper that we look at it again and see how.
What do you mean by look at it? Should it be scrapped?
Not scrap per se.
Okay.
We should fine-tune things. Okay. I am not for just saying, look, because the intention alone that we want to fight corruption, okay, holds water.
Okay.
If you recall, he's a lawyer. He knows one Justice Afre, and there was this quality grain scandal with this law called Section 179, willfully causing financial loss to the state, okay, in our criminal offenses. After the quality grain scandal, same issue we are having today happened in Parliament then. People were calling for the scrapping of that law because the likes of Chachu Chikata came out to fight that law, that definitions of some provisions in that law were not even clear. So people thought that it was problematic. It went back and forth. The law came to stay. Up to date, it's still in our books anyway. Fast forward to where we are today. Same thing is happening to OSP Act. Is it relevant to have such an office? Is the office nebulous? Some things are not clear. We don't even know how things are going. We need to sit down again and fine-tune things, not rush.
Okay.
So finally on this, I think that it is a legal process we all have to take. But my only worry today is that the President of the Republic of Ghana thinks otherwise. And the majority leader in Parliament and his chief whip also thinks otherwise. So I don't know where additions are or why things are not adding up.
Let's get
the President is saying that
he thinks it's premature. He thinks it's premature.
It's too premature.
He thinks
but then, immediately after he speaks, the majority leader in Parliament, as well as his chief whip, files a private member bill seeking to scrap the OSP.
Okay.
Why? Do they really sit down at cabinet to discuss some of these things before we move on? I think that there should be a synergy. That's only my worry.
Okay. Let's actually then talk about Noah Adamte, who is in court because it's on the special prosecutor.
Yes.
So I do not get my preliminary.
Oh, it's still the same.
I think, okay, I mean, whilst you're at it, and it's important because then you belong to the governing party.
Exactly. So he
and as well, you are yeah. But let me just read this message from Honorable Baktalia Mohammed, MP for Sisala East. We've just been discussing the Pandai matter, and he creates a certain scenario. He says that, good morning, MFI and the team. Great discussions this morning. My candid view, the clerk did the right thing. And he creates a scenario. He says that, let's assume someone is convicted and sentenced by a lower court, and the person decides to appeal the decision of the trial court at a higher court. Are we saying by simply filing an appeal automatically guarantees the convicted his or her freedom until the appeal is heard? This is from Honorable Baktalia Mohammed, MP for Sisala East. It's a question you want to mull over if you're interested. But Hamza, let me hear your initial comments on the special prosecutor, and then we'll go into what Mr. Adamte is seeking in court.
If I'm allowed, I will just
put it together. That's fair enough. Then let me just reiterate. If you have not seen, surely the Deputy Attorney General just, summarized it on his social media page. He says that Noah Adamte has sued the Attorney General in Supreme Court. And his grounds says, he said, Parliament has no power to set up an office of a prosecutor which is independent and outside of the control of the Attorney General. And his relief? An order striking down the provisions of Act 959 that confer autonomous prosecutorial authority on the office of the Special Prosecutor or insulate it from the Attorney General's constitutional control. Just for those of you who have not seen that reliefs by Noah Adamte. Some compelling issues there. I have a few questions. In fact, I have a lot of questions. Let me hear you, Hamza.
Okay, MFA, I have had the benefit of listening to my colleagues, and I think that my position on the office of the Special Prosecutor and the occupant of that office is quite known.
It's quite what?
It's known, in the sense that from day one, even prior to the establishment of the particular office, I was quite clear that it was needless, and there was no need for us to go about creating all kinds of bottlenecks under the guise of fighting corruption.
Yeah.
And I also oppose it based on principle, because I knew that the motivations behind the establishment of that office was not really rooted in any sincere fight against corruption by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It was intended to be used as a political tool to hound political opponents. And that intention was made known even in the run-up to the 2016 general election. It was known.
If it hounds political opponents and gives us the result, what's the matter?
Then the Attorney General's office, that's the same thing. Yeah. So why establish it? That's my quick response to you. Because, MFA, that was the objective. Let us not pretend. Again, one of the fundamental planks of the arguments for its creation was the issue of independence, and that it will be insulated from executive control. Unfortunately, the two occupants we have had in that office have all come out to tell us that in one way or the other, there was attempted executive interference. It was Martin Amidu first, who at the back of that referred to Nana Addo as the mother serpent of corruption because of his attempt to influence his work. Kisi Ajabeng has also told us publicly how His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is purported to have made his work difficult, especially in relation to the investigations of Ken Ofori-Atta because of their familial ties, and the fact that certain state institutions were unwilling to cooperate with him. So it begs the question as to whether indeed the major argument for its establishment, which has to do with independence, has actually been achieved. For which reason we must continue to have it. These were my views. And I was also of the view that at least it's been more than 5 years now. It is only proper for us to take stock and decide whether or not we want to keep it. Until yesterday, these were my views. But when I listened to His Excellency President Mahama, I am bound by his decision to
no principle.
Say, look, we can get this thing to work.
Oh my God.
It is too early to abolish the OSP. And I'll tell you why. Where he sits, MFA.
Come on, let him.
Where he sits, he's entitled to national security briefings that I am not entitled to. He's entitled to inner dealings of many of these state institutions that I am not entitled to. So I'll give his judgment the benefit of the doubt. And it is on the basis of that benefit of doubt that I'm also calling on the majority leadership to, as a matter of urgency, rescind the motion that they have before Parliament. Because, trust me, the presidency of the Republic is no joke. Access to information he has, we may not have as a political party, or advocates who are of the view that that office should go. We can still engage behind the scenes and possibly try to understand. But I have conceded as a matter of principle, because we all must be seen championing the objectives of the government. And if the government is of the view that this thing is needed at this point in time, we may look at the officer himself. But in terms of the stature of the office, the government is of the view that, look, this is not the time for us to be calling for a scrap. Let's respect that decision and concentrate on ensuring credibility and integrity within the ranks of that particular office. That now brings me back, or that dovetails into the application before the writ that has been filed. MFA, it was one of my major concerns too, under Article 88 of our 1992 Constitution. Exclusive authority of prosecutions is in the hands. That decision is in the hands of the Attorney General. So when I also saw the act purporting to give the special prosecutor some measure of autonomy, I was quite disappointed and surprised. Because I felt that it was clearly unconstitutional.
But if you look at that...
So fortunately, this case will give us an opportunity to settle that question as to whether indeed it is constitutional or not to attempt to give the special prosecutor that autonomy in terms of prosecutions. Because if you remember, even in the Ken Ofori-Atta matter, when the Deputy Attorney General came out to say that they were still waiting on the docket, many of the other state institutions, they defer to the Attorney General. EOCO, BNI, now NIB, and the likes, FIC, they all defer to the Attorney General when it comes to prosecutorial decisions, except the Office of Special Prosecutor. So we need to know whether indeed it is constitutional or not, and the Supreme Court will give us that answer, settled.
Still
but
help me
interestingly, this gentleman today, in his opening remarks, raises doubt about the establishment of the office and his issues with it.
I don't think he raised doubt.
Issue.
He did.
He did.
You didn't hear him. Well, where were you?
Was the opportunity for me to clear myself?
No, let me finish. Well, you can come in and clear yourself, please.
Clearing yourself will take my time. We are not here to be clearing time. Give my time. After that time, there is any time left, then you clear yourself. I'm not here to be clearing time.
Can I land before he comes?
Yeah, I agree.
And
I have a few questions because there's this confusion as to whether the Office of the Special Prosecutor has an autonomous power.
Yes.
Or because if you read the preamble,
is clear.
The way it's still the money.
They still give the power to the Attorney General, but they create the impression
that they are independent. That is why I'm saying that there has to be, because I know the kind of politics that is going on between the Attorney General's office and that office.
What kind of politics is this? Let me in. Because what I'm doing is reading
it's simply who has that superior authority of prosecutions. This is an issue. It's an issue. So, but you see, let the Supreme Court deal with the matter and let them bring finality to it. But MFA, we cannot sit around this table to bring finality to the matter. No. What I want to say is that if we are principled politicians, it must show. MFA, you have seen me. So, and that is the beauty of the NDC, please. No, that's not what I'm saying. That is the beauty of the NDC. Even when I disagree with a government decision and a party decision, the party affords me the opportunity to state it explicitly.
Of course.
Without any issues.
I have a mind of it.
So if indeed you were concerned about the stature of the Office of Special Prosecutor, and you failed to make your voice heard then, it is problematic. So it is okay. Again, finally on this one. He made references to the quality grain cases.
On the grounds.
He made references to the quality grain. Okay.
On the grounds of it. On the grounds. It's very important because then he's situated, because I'm kind of confused. It says that on the grounds that Parliament has no power to set up an office of a special prosecutor, which is independent and outside the control of the Attorney General. This is the ground on which...
Yeah, basically trying to say Parliament can make laws.
Contrary to Article 88. That is still the whole point. So,
but was that the case in 2017?
That is what he's claiming. And indeed, if you go back...
If you revisit how the Special Office of the Special Prosecutor was created.
But it's important. He brought my name in.
No, let me... You have your time, but then you will have your time. It's just, we want to really situate...
MFA. So if the issue is to the effect that that office is actually subservient to the Attorney General, then what's the essence of that office?
Absolutely.
We must as well make it a directorate under the Attorney General's office.
Yeah.
Per the terms of this particular act.
Yes.
Where's the issue of independence based on which we proceeded to set it up? These are the questions we are looking at. And so let the Supreme Court deal with it.
Yeah.
But he made references to the quality grade matter and sought to create an unacceptable impression that Chachu Chikata and co were in court questioning the law.
Oh.
There's a vast difference between interpretation of a law and its application and questioning of the law. What we were doing, many of us who were calling for the scrapping of the Special Prosecutor's office, was to the effect that the law should be scrapped.
It did not.
Chachu Chikata was not saying the law should be scrapped.
I didn't say so. That's what I said. You didn't listen to
Play him.
Okay, then let him.
What I did say,
say
was that we have traveled this journey before. And I cited the... Please.
I come with you. I come to you. No, Solomon, you haven't been listening to them. Have you been listening to them?
Solomon has not been talking.
Let me tell you. I cannot be a person that... No, this trick. No. Smart guy say, let me chip in and comes in. No.
Solomon.
What is it? He has spoken. Let me...
No. I can have my producer play you back.
Let him play me back.
I can.
Let him play me back.
MFA. Please.
I want to come out.
I came here to defend my party.
No.
Listen, Solomon.
Of course.
No, he says that
we
want to know whether he made that comment or not.
Exactly.
And I want to hear him.
I am saying that I did not emphatically state.
Just do like
I did not emphatically state that Chachu Chikata is on record to have said that.
But you said we have traveled this journey before.
Yes, and I said when after the quality grade scandal matter was determined, there were calls by some people, to have that law scrapped or expunged from our laws, Criminal Offences Act.
How is that? There
were calls in Parliament. Trace the history. Then I said that even problems were actually cited to the extent that Chachu Chikata himself sought to interpret certain words within the law, which he felt were inimical to our growth in terms of legal architecture. That's what I said. I did not say that he said they should scrap it. No.
You understand?
No. Look, the particular word for it. What is it? Particular word. MFA, you do not. You may not understand it.
Not you. It's just this two.
I am saying that he singled out some words. He rightly spoke about.
I want to know how that makes how we're here. Is it the autonomous? Is it the independent?
Two issues here. There were people who were calling for the law to be expunged. One.
Okay.
Second, and I said that even going forward, the Venerable Chachu Chikata is on record to have even questioned certain words within the law.
Now bring it home.
This is clear. So I don't know why we are having...
Bring it home to the matter.
So I am now saying, issues of corruption, when we raise them, it gets to a point where people rise up against the particular law or process. So I'm saying, fast forward to where we are. Just as we saw some people calling for the scrapping of that law, today we are seeing people calling for the scrapping
full-blown
of
submission again. While Solo is
No, I'm coming to Solo. Solo is my darling.
Now the man says that
you
I am not principal. But let me tell you why he's not principal.
What is
he just sat here?
See, when you do that,
he just sat here and told us that his position.
I've told you.
No, I'll have to make this point. He told me that if I believe personally that I thought it was going to conflict with Article 88, why was I quiet then? And I'm saying even he just sit here. The mere fact that President Mahama has spoken, you have jettisoned your own principle. You have thrown it away, only to come back and call people unprincipled. He is rather the chief and principal person sitting on here.
You're both even now. You're even now. And I'm not going to allow you.
Solomon has principal person.
Solomon, you have the ground. When I come
telling someone is not principal.
Solomon,
he doesn't understand principle.
You understand principle.
And I'll come back.
You have all the
time.
Yes.
So I agree with the gentleman.
Which one of them? Dante.
Who has gone to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
It's a matter that will be very interesting because the act that you read, I was very happy when you read the preamble. The preamble seeks to confuse all of us. That the Act 959, the preamble is that an act to establish the Office of the Special Prosecutor as a specialized agency to investigate cases of alleged or suspected corruption and corruption-related offences involving public officers and politically exposed persons in the performance of their functions, as well as persons in the private sector involved in commission of alleged or suspected corruption and corruption-related offences. Prosecute this office and on the authority of what? The Attorney General. So if you are telling us that the OSP can only prosecute on the authority of the Attorney General, then what is the OSP doing? So that the OSP can go to the Attorney General and say, I want to prosecute this case, and the Attorney General will say, no. The person is a party member. The person is a party financier. In that instance, what would the OSP do? And that is why some of us believe that it is either this administration is going to go by the proposal that we are making, that look, consolidate all these supposed corruption institutions and have one legislation, go back to the Constitution, amend the Constitution, and make them truly independent without drawing any authority from where? The Attorney General. Other than that, Article 2 of our Constitution is so clear that this Constitution shall be the supreme law of Ghana. And any law found to be inconsistent, then you go to Article 88, it tells you that it is the Attorney General that will initiate all prosecutions. So what the OSP now is telling us that it has the power to also initiate prosecutions. Is it not inconsistent with what the Constitution is saying?
When you consolidate it, will it not take the form and shape of the Attorney General's office?
No, that's why you
what can they do that the Attorney
That's why we are calling also for constitutional amendment. So that you amend the mandate of the Attorney General. You understand? That you are saying that he must initiate all prosecutions. Here is a case that you want to establish an independent body. That also has a power to also initiate prosecutions.
If we don't have one body that initiates all prosecutions and we have two, will we not have, conflicts at some point?
Come again?
If we don't have one body that initiates all prosecutions, because it's prosecutions anyway.
Yes.
And then we have another body, because then by the time we have consolidated all of these agencies, it will be one body.
Yes.
We now amend the Constitution to allow this one body as well function independently. Yes. Will we not have some sort of...
No. Like you go to the US, you have the special counsels here. They do their own thing. While the DOJ also do theirs. But so long as they are covered under the Constitution, they can do what is expected of them. The role that they have to perform, they can perform. But in the current mix, they cannot do what we expect of them. Remember, the reason why we are saying that there has to be one legislation is that at the point with the past case, the OSP at the point came to tell us that where the investigation had gotten to, it had entered into the realm of money laundering. And that money laundering was a purview or the preserve of what? Yoko. Yeah. So they had to leave it. But if you had one legislation, they could have handled it through and through.
Like one body that sees all the characters and symptoms of a crime.
Yes. But that, it's all about the personnel, the quality of personnel you put in there, and the budgetary allocation. For now, I see the OSP's office as an offshoot of that.
Will that not suffocate the rights of individuals?
No, nobody wants to. The truth of the matter is that you and I know that some politicians are stealing from us. We must not shy away from this topic. Does it not surprise you that we went to Afro-Exim Bank to go and borrow $750 million to construct road? Amasaman to Pokwase or the money is gone, road is not completed.
The special prosecutor, for example's case, does not necessarily only go after politicians.
No.
It can come after me, an individual.
But if you have not done anything wrong, why must you be afraid?
No, that's not what I mean. I mean that if one body then becomes so independent and quite insulated, I'm just asking, will that not suffocate an individual? For example, in Nigeria's judicial system, you can travel journey one step. If you're not happy here, you go to the next step and next step. In this consolidation that you're talking about, it begins and ends with them.
No, but the point is that they also have to go to the court.
I mean, I'm not talking about convictions. I'm talking about the person that initiates it.
No, you are initiating. There is nothing wrong with it. Hitherto, it was the Attorney General that was doing all these things. It didn't suffocate our system. They were to complement the efforts of the Attorney General. I dare say the two people that have been put there have not endangered any confidence. If you were going out to do a survey about Kisia Jabe and how he has handled the office, I can tell you the majority of Ghanaians are not happy with what he has done. You understand?
Let me ask a question. Because of the moral or the intention of the creation of the special prosecutor, which Kamal believes that no matter who started it, the moral, the idea behind it, whether there was political intention, just all the optics of it is okay because it creates the perception that we want to fight corruption. I don't know about the political will that is underneath it. All I know is there's an office when you commit any corruption or corruption-related offense, they will come after you. That I know, just the optics of it. So the moral of it exists. The president has come to corroborate it as well. In that case, the office, do you have a problem with the office or before the consolidation happened? Because if you look at your request, you have to amend the constitution.
Yes.
Come and consolidate.
Yes.
But you're also telling me that we know that politicians are stealing money right here on
yes.
So things are happening.
Yes.
In that case, why don't we just keep the office and look at what matters, which Kamal is saying, that the building, if there's an issue in that building, why tear down the whole building? Why don't you enter it and
You're
find
not tearing the whole building. If it must be done like an insurance company is always tells
must be
it
done
must
well.
be done well. The mere fact that we need an office to fight corruption does not mean we must just create an office. So far, we have expended more than $1 billion on that office. That could have done a lot of things in this country.
Before the special prosecutor existed, the Attorney General existed.
So we could have given this budgetary allocation to...
What's the performance of the Attorney General in
They have
the
been
fight
performing
against
over
corruption?
the years. Attorney General, you were in this country when the erstwhile administration told us, Godfrey Dami, that they saved this country billions of cedis. They are not only into prosecution, they also defend the state. Is that not the case? So, and one of the things that they have said, time with that number, is that their budgetary allocations are always not enough.
But the Office of the Special Prosecutor has also done a few things.
What
or they haven't gone after persons that...
No, what have they done? I want to hear.
If you Google it, if you go to their website...
They have not done anything. To my liking, they have expended $1 billion, but I have not seen anything.
If you wake up this morning and the special prosecutor himself has been changed to another person, would that at least excite you?
No, that is not enough.
But at least
that
would it do something?
there has to be that independence.
I agree. I'm only asking, walking us through consolidation, going to amend the constitution is quite a long process.
The truth of the matter, the current president, what he said is what he has to say. That a previous administration brings in an office. And you also came at the back. Remember ORA, Operation Recover All. So if you go and collapse...
It wasn't backed by law.
No, I'm saying that one of the campaign messages of the NDC that propelled them into victory was that when they come, they will fight corruption. So if you are the president, who benefited, a candidate that benefited from this campaign, and now the president, and you go back and scrap an office that, in the mind of the people, is fighting against corruption, what would perception be against your presidency?
So he's protecting the social...
No, so what he did, that is what any smart person would do. But that does not prevent some of us from calling for the right thing to be done. You understand? So he has only behaved smartly within the system.
Are you happy? I gave you enough time.
You haven't. You are still on it.
To say nothing.
No, you people direct away.
So under a minute.
Enough time
it's
to say
important for me to set...
That's why the LBB's collapsed.
Enough time to say that.
First of all, I listened to...
We're going to go to the lithium deal.
Yes, I listened to my brother Kamal. And I listened to my brother Kamal. And I think that it is important we listen to each other.
Absolutely.
When we're on the platform.
Yes.
It's very, very important for the sake of
That
others.
your position was what?
He doesn't listen.
My position
And President has
from day
spoken.
one.
You are
Please,
shifted from
please,
position.
Can
So
you
are you
stop this?
principled?
Can you
Simple. I don't know why.
But I observed that, Solomon, you have been on
You see,
Kamal's
listen to
case
you
all
very
day, but you have not been on Hamza's case all day.
MFA,
This is your
are you also going to
position.
He
discuss?
doesn't allow me to speak.
You
don't want me to speak.
I'm not.
Hamza does not interject.
Based on that,
So why should I attack him?
Are you principled? Simple.
MFA,
He's not happy that that's what he's here. They would have been two against one.
that is why it's important we listen to each other.
Okay.
That is why it is important.
I didn't listen to you.
I
Tell
gave
me what
you
said.
my position, even prior to the establishment of that particular office. And I have told you that as far as I'm concerned, it was needless. It is still needless now, where I sit.
But
And the calls were directed at the number one gentleman of the land. And I knew at the time I was making those calls that the outcome would be two.
Yeah.
Whether to agree with my position or to disagree with my position. And as a consummate Democrat, even in my disagreements, especially where he's seated, he's privy to information that I have not. If I tell you that I will give him the benefit of the doubt, it doesn't mean that in the future I will still call for the collapse of the office. Because he says that he doesn't think that it is time. It is too early. Not that he's also in principle against the cause. He can appreciate our cause. But he says that he doesn't think it is the right time to be calling for such a thing. It is too early. We have to focus on getting it to work.
Which means that the private members' bill can still
So
proceed and then...
how has my position on the matter changed? When I said that I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and wait, because he says it's early.
But you said...
Unless, of course, you don't understand principles. Yeah, that's why I said until my calls were for immediate.
You can.
For immediate cessation, and it was directed at the number one gentleman of the land. He has responded. And as a member of his party that is in government, I had two options, whether to agree with that position or to disagree. And I have elected that, look, I will respect that call by His Excellency the President, who has more information on the subject matter than me.
you.
And I extended the same courtesies to majority leaders of parliament who are calling for same. I said that, look, let's give the President the benefit of the doubt. And wait and see how it unfolds, because he's still convinced
in the end, by so do you
that it was said. Of course, it's principles.
Ah, okay, that's fine.
How is that not a principled position?
Unlike
you, that you had a proud, you were even afraid when your party was your position.
He agreed with the setting up.
Your understanding of
agreed
principle
with the establishment of the
I beg you, go and read on principle.
I'm sorry.
I beg you.
Okay, let's talk about...